1 million drift point challenge in Forza Horizon 5. So today Nico is taking on a bit of a different challenge, a 1,000,000 point drift run on the volcano. What's more, we're going to make it even tougher by creating a fresh drift build from scratch in a car that he hasn't even used yet. So strap in and let's go for it. We're going to use a front-engined, rear-wheel drive car as the basis for our drift build. You can quickly find your choices in this regard using the filter and sort in this view. We'll pick a car, let's give it a drive in its stock configuration. We've turned all the driving assists off and selected the manual with clutch gear option. Nico is playing on the Xbox Series X in quality graphics mode with a standard Xbox controller. As you can see, without modifications, this isn't quite the perfect drift car. So let's go back to the garage and apply some upgrades. We need to unlock some tuning options, so we'll buy the drift spring dampers and the drift diff as well as upgrade to a race gearbox. We'll also want drift tyres and to widen the track width front and rear. 17,000 credits isn't bad, so now we'll go for a run around the festival site and see how the car goes. Tuning wise, we'll shorten the gearing, lock the differential on acceleration and blow up those rear tyres. Now let's see how it feels. It's good, but it's not great. We can definitely get more sideways and more smoke than this. Nico wants a bit more oomph, so swaps out the engine and goes for another cruise around the festival. Now that is more like it. Smoke pours from the rear and the car holds a good angle. It's a little unstable at the rear however, so we've increased that rear tyre width and then we'll head to the volcano. Nico ended up putting together similar builds on a few different cars to compare. Mistakes were made and tunings tweaked to keep the car pointing in the right direction. The Nissan Silvia handled well, but struggled to maintain the angles needed for big scores. Other builds were twitchier. It was harder to be consistent with those, but they seemed capable of scoring more. Nico took to Reddit and discussed how the new game feels for drifting. Other players agreed that tunings that worked great in Forza Horizon 4 just didn't work in Mexico. Old tricks like using an all-wheel drive car with the power going 97 to 98% to the rear now understeer horribly and don't feel balanced for drifting at all. Using alternative tyre compounds didn't bring significant points or grip benefits at most drift zones, but the drift compound felt like it made the cars really struggle uphill. Nico had a quick blast in a Lexus LFA build recommended by another player, which felt pretty solid, but by this point the concentration had gone and high scores were getting harder and harder to achieve. Rear-engined cars weren't as hard to control for rear-wheel drive drifting as they had been in Forza Horizon 4, but something about the way the grip physics has changed, or maybe it could be a tweak to how the points are calculated, meant he never quite got to the 1,000,000 point target this week. So that's it for Nico's first attempt at 1,000,000 points in the volcano drift zone. Come back next week where we'll either have another challenge video for you guys, or you might see Nico trying again with a little more success. For now, I've been Toby for RacingGames. This has been Nico's gameplay. Have a brilliant weekend.